Good morning and welcome to Activities Group. Today, we're going to talk about a fun and engaging card game. This game is not only entertaining, but it also teaches us an important life lesson about handling ups and downs. So, let's dive right in. The game Higher or Lower is a simple and engaging card game that I will use to teach a principle of life and a valuable lesson. The game is all about the ups and downs we face in life. The card game uses the same principle to teach us how to handle life's highs and lows. Now, let's take a look at the poem If by Rudyard Kipling, which perfectly encapsulates this life lesson. Kipling's poem is a beautiful reminder that we should always strive to be our best, no matter what life throws our way. It's a powerful message that we can all learn from, and it's a great way to approach life's challenges. The poem goes, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated. Don't give way to hating, and yet don't look to good, nor talk to wise. If you can dream and not, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph in disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men cow with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. One stanza I want to highlight is if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same. It speaks to the deceptive nature of success and failure, and how we must be consistently committed to our principles and goals whether we have successful or failure. Also, the misleading sense of security we may feel with success and inadequacy we feel from failure. Whether experiencing highs or lows, we must be steadfast and consistent in our good practices and habits. So, the next time you're experiencing highs or lows, remember this game and how they both must be kept in proper perspective. Now, let's get into our activity for today. How this works is I will flip a card, and you need to tell me if you think the next card will be higher or lower than the current card shown. I will do this until the entire deck is gone. If your guess is correct, you add a point. If your answer is incorrect, you deduct a point. Count your total at the end and see how many points you earn. Ready, set, go.
Alright, let's begin our game. Now, I'm going to pluck from the deck. You let me know if the next card is going to be higher or lower. We are not considering suits in this, we're just considering the number of values on each card. First card, ace. Higher or lower? 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 Higher ready to continue. Higher or lower? 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 Now we're going to pause, take a second, tally your score, make sure that you're accurate. Let's continue. Higher or lower? 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 Let me know how you did. Let's tally up our points and compare our totals with our peers. See who had the most.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that activity. I hope you did great, got a great score on a higher versus a lower game, higher or lower. I just wanted to come and say that it's important that we're aware of how our highs and our lows affect us. It matters so much how you handle the highs and the lows. I love a line from our poem that was quoted, If by Rudyard Kipling. One of the stanzas says, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. I love that wording. You tell me what it means to you. To me, it means that triumph and disaster both have ways to deceive you. They have ways of deceiving you and making you believe something not true. That's why it says they're both imposters. Because triumph and having success could convince you that you've arrived and there's nothing else to work on. It could convince you that there's no need for you to keep striving. It can lull you into a false sense of security and comfort that stops you from moving forward and achieving the rest of your goals. On the contrary, your lows can do the same. Your lows can make you feel like you have nothing to work towards, you don't have anything in you that's valuable, and that you can't be successful, and you can't overcome, and you can't be victorious. Both of them are lies. Both of them carry something that can deceive you. You need to understand, your consistency has to be constant. No matter what, whether you see great highs or low lows, your consistency to your commitment, your consistency to your progress has to stay the same. So I want that for you today, to have the right perspective about every good moment and every bad one. There's still meaning, there's still value in it, and there's still much more to be accomplished. So go out there, achieve, be great. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.
Hey guys, get ready for another round of higher or lower. See if you can beat your last score. I'm going to flip your first card. You let me know if you think the next card is going to be higher or lower. Higher or lower? 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 All right, we're going to stop. Tally your score. See where you are. We're halfway there. All right, let's begin. Higher or lower? 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 Higher. Higher or lower? Higher or lower? All right, let's pause. Take a look at your score. Tally up and see where you are. Do you have a goal you're reaching for? Let's see how close you are. Okay, let's continue. Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Higher Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Last one. Higher or lower? What was it for you? Did you get it? Let's see. Tally up our score, see what we have, and then compare with our peers. Good job, guys.